virtually impossible to know where what you're going to be doing, much less where you're going to live or be in 5 years. So stay within that range. Then let's go to planning your goals. First of all, convert your goals into action. I want to ask you a question. This is going to sound a little silly, but have you ever taken a vacation without having a destination? Kind of a stupid question, isn't it? I've asked this question in classes that I've taught, seminars that I've had over the years, and I've had some of the strangest things told to me by these associates. One of them raised his hand, and I said, "Where'd you go?" And he goes, "East." And I laughed. So, what do you mean? The guy had a heavy British accent. And he said, "I sold a chain of jewelry stores in London." And he said, "One of my goals in life was to go around the world." And he said, "I went to Heathrow, got on the next plane going east." And he said, "I don't even remember where it landed, but if I wanted to stay there, I did. And if I didn't, I got on the next plane going east. And if I wanted to stay there, I did. If not, I got on the next plane going east." He said, "I knew if I kept going east, I'd go around the world." And he got back to London 6 months later. He went totally around the world in 6 months. I had two ladies one time say, not two ladies, one lady said it was her and her girlfriend were in New York. They called each other. They were both paralegals for different law firms. They called each other and said they wanted to meet for lunch. So they arrived at the restaurant. Both thought the other had made reservations. It was in dead of winter. They couldn't even get into the restaurant. It was so packed and it was freezing outside. They looked at each other and said, "What are we doing this for?" They got on their cell phones, called their boss, quit their job, went to Acapulco for 3 months. For 3 weeks. So taking a vacation without a destination. The reason the average person would never even think of doing this, it's abhorrent to the average person, is simply because we plan our vacations. We think about them. We take a full year just to decide what we're going to do, and then we plan it by knowing the route we're going to take for driving. We know all the detours that are going to be. We know what it's going to cost in terms of gas or airfare. We know the hotel we're going to. We know the attractions we're going to see. Everything is planned in minute detail. And then we come back. Now listen carefully to this. We come back after a 2-week vacation, and we treat the next 50 weeks of our business life as though it were a vacation without a destination. And by that I mean, do you have a written business plan? Because if you don't, you are actually treating your real estate career as though it were a vacation without a destination. You have no clue as to where you're going because you have no plan to get there. Now, let's use an action list. But you have to be flexible and take breaks, and you'll excuse the phone from ringing. I don't know where it's at right now. Check off the tasks as you complete them. It's a tremendous amount of satisfaction in doing that. So check off the tasks as you complete them. And then also establish your daily priorities. I use an ABC method. A equals a task that must be done today. That's a priority. Prospecting, as an example, has to be done every single day. A B task must be done or accomplished within the next week. And a C task is usually, not always, but usually personal in nature. But the key to it is that it has no time limit. Now, let's use a time management product to stay focused. There's one time management product that I really kind of push, not because I have any monetary interest in this company or anything, but there's a real estate specific planner out there. And this is the website where you can find it. And I'm actually going to go to the website to show it to you and why I like it. It should come up in just a moment. This real estate planner not only has the daily, weekly, monthly time management products within it, but it also has 4 sections specifically related to real estate. Listings that you are trying to get, listings that you now have, buyers that you're working with, and it also has within it all of the contact to closing people that you're going to be talking to. This is the website, and these are the various planners that they have and all the sheets. But I want to concentrate on let's look at just one of the sheets for just a moment to show you why I like it. And this is the listing progress sheet. And this is actually a sample of that, if I can pull that up. Here we go. Oh, I lost it. Let me do it again. You'll notice on the left-hand side you have all the information about your contacts and things you have to do. But over on this side, think of servicing the listing. Everything you could do and are doing to service that listing, you keep to record right here. And one other thing about this is that you can also buy these individually. You don't have to buy the entire planner. If next year you didn't, let's say, use all of the buyer section, you don't need them. If you work just strictly with sellers, then only order the seller section. But you can order the individual sections at the beginning, at the end after the first year. Another is to use a real estate-specific contact management program. There are a lot of them on the market. I've listed a number of them here that I'm aware of and I've heard about. But the one that I like the best is this first one, Top Producer 8i. And the reason that I like it is that it is not only real estate-specific, but it has over 250 contact programs within it. In other words, let's say I called a friend and somebody was talking to them, and they said, oh, it was Tommy's birthday yesterday. We were at Chuck E. Cheese. And I said, oh, it was 10th birthday, isn't it? Okay, now, on the contact page for this individual, in the top left corner, there's a little stick figure of a family. And if you click on that, it will open up another page which will show all of the individuals, the children, everybody, and the dates of birth, and so on. So what I'm going to do is enter Tommy's birthday. Then I'm going to take a contact management program which will automatically send him a birthday card for the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years if I want. Now, do you think Tommy in the next 30 years will ever buy or sell real estate or know of somebody that's going to buy or sell? Who do you think he's going to think of? So these contact management programs keep it automatic. It just makes it easy. If you have a buyer you sell a property to, you want to be in touch with them at least every other month, if not every month, you could set up a contact program just specifically for that. And it will produce whatever it is once every month, once every 2 months, either a card, a letter, or it instructs you need to call them this month and talk to them, or you need to go see them this month, but it tells you specifically what you have to do. It'll actually print your name or sign your name to the cards. Now let's get into strategizing your planning. First of all, stay focused on 3 activities to success, and watch out for the 4th. It'll blindside you. First, there are 4 different categories of time. We call them Class A, B, C, and D. Now, Class A time is face-to-face with a buyer or seller. This, of course, would be a listing presentation or where you have a buyer in your car and you're showing them property. Class B time is direct preparation for Class A. As an example, before you go on a listing presentation, you have to do a competitive market analysis, get your listing folder ready, get your listing agreement completed, and so on. If you're showing property, you have to make sure it's available, pick up keys, preview if possible. All of that is directly related to Class A time. Class C time is all other real estate-related activities. This webinar is an example. It's real estate related, but it's not in A or B. And also if you attend a meeting or if you are doing any administrative work, it would fall into A and B. And then Class D, and this is the one that will blindside you, is basically wasted time. Now, over a period of time, we've come up with statistics as far as percentages of a person's time. But before I give you these, I want to explain that this is the person that we call a plotting associate. And what I mean by that is that they're plodding along in real estate. They're not a superstar, but yet they're not a failure. They're earning a living at whatever level they want to earn. I don't think there's a manager in the world that wouldn't love to have their office staffed with these people only because they know they can count on them. They know they're going to be there every time, every day in the office, and every week, month they're going to be bringing in listings, making sales, and so on. So this is just the average person. And they spend about 12% of their time in Class A time, 13% in B, 25% in C, and then if you add those 3 up, that totals 50, subtracted from 100, and that leaves 50% of the average person's day is literally wasted. Remember, stay focused, and time will lead you to success. Let's go with additional thoughts on time. First of all, a question. How much time do we actually waste in an average workday? And the answer, 20 to 30 5-minute periods per workday. Now, this is a business workday, not a real estate workday. In a business environment, as an employee, I know the terms of employment. I have to be there in the morning. I get a break. I get a lunch break. I get an afternoon break, and I get off in the late afternoon. And in between those breaks and lunch and so on, I have to produce. And if I don't produce, I know it is the right of my boss to fire me. And whether that's written or just understood, I know the terms of employment. Now I get into real estate. I'm an independent contractor. I can do anything I want to do when I want to do it. I'm my own boss. And the unfortunate thing is that I treat myself too well. I take too many vacations. I take too much time off. I take too much time daydreaming or talking with other associates in the office or just wasting time. And it's a lot more than 20 to 30 5-minute periods a day in real estate.